Hi everyone, this is Mindy Eggen and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can add color to your full scene images without all the detailed coloring. It's a real quick and easy way and also one of my favorites. I'm starting with a piece of layering white cardstock from Gina Designs and the medium Carnation ink. I have my ink pad set in the ink stand, which holds my ink pad so it's not sliding around on my glass surface. I'm picking up the ink with a blending brush and starting at one end, I'm just going to lightly add ink about halfway up the card. So this is the trick, is just ink blending a background, which ink blending is one of my favorite ways to add color to my cards. Once I get about halfway up, I'm bringing in Wild Dandelion and I'm going to blend right over where the pink ended and then blend it up so it's going to fade off into the white of the cardstock. Now, where Wild Dandelion and that medium Carnation meet, it is going to create a beautiful orange. So we're really going to get three colors out of just using two ink pads. After this is all blended, I'm going to bring it over to my Misti stamping tool, and then I'm bringing in the Spring Mountain stamp set. I originally was going to use these wildflowers at the bottom, but decided to use that full scene image instead. I place the image over my cardstock, and then I'm going to pick it up with the Door of the Misty. Now, this is a brand new stamp. I haven't used it yet. It's not prepped. So it did kind of pick up my paper and leave a few marks on it. Nothing too serious. I'm able to kind of wipe it away, but you do want to rub your hand over your stamp to prep it a little bit so it doesn't stick to your cardstock as much. I'm inking up my image with the Obsidian Amalgam ink, and I have that full coverage. Then I'll just stamp this down onto my background using the stamping bug, which is just a nice tool that helps me glide over the Door of the Misty. So once I open this up, I didn't get a very clean impression, mainly because it's the stamp isn't conditioned yet. I haven't really used it, so it's not conditioned. So I'm going to ink that up one more time, stamp that down, and then I'm going to have a beautiful, crisp impression. You could leave this as is for your card front, but I like to trim my panels down. So I trimmed this down to about 3¼ by 4½, so it's going to leave a really nice white margin. I'm taking the Hello Caps die and I die cut it 3 times from black Onyx cardstock, and I'm going to layer that together using my Connect glue that I have in the mini glue tubes, and then using my tweezers to kind of help align those and squeeze the letters together, make sure that they all match up. This is just going to add dimension behind my sentiment. Next, I'm going to take those letters and using the grid surface on my glass mat, I'm going to line these up so that they are completely straight across. Once I feel that they are spaced evenly and lined up pretty good. Now this part is a little time consuming because I want to make sure that it's straight. I'm going to put this removable Scotch tape over it, making sure that it kind of extends towards the off of the ends and then pick that up. That's just going to hold this all in place for me. I trimmed down a piece of double-sided foam. So this is just a foam sheet that has adhesive on the front and the back of it. I trimmed it down to be a little bit smaller than my blended panel. And I'm going to add this to that white card front. So this is adding, once again, just a little bit of dimension. I really like to have my panels popped up on my card front. I'll take my hello word that I had die cut out and is stuck to that removable tape, and I'm adding little dots of that Connect glue that I have in these mini glue tube bottles, and then I can take the tape, stretch that across the front of the card, and since that tape is clear, I can see exactly where everything is and making sure that my margins are even on each side of the letters, and then carefully peel back that tape. What I like to do is take a couple of my clear blocks and place that on top to really let that set in. Now I'm going to add a little sub-sentiment, and this one comes from the Delightful Daisies stamp set. I lined it up on some black Onyx cardstock, prepped that with an anti-static powder tool, and then I'm inking this up with the embossing ink from Gina Designs. I'm just pressing down lightly. If I need to stamp it again, I can. I don't like to push too hard because I don't want to squish or distort my words. Then I will sprinkle on the gold embossing powder, tap off any excess, and then once my heat tool is nice and hot, I can bring that to my cardstock and melt the embossing powder. Off screen, I'm going to trim this down into a thin strip using my mini paper trimmer. I added some black foam squares behind it, and then I'm going to add it right under my hello word that I have on the front of my card. That's going to finish up my card project for you for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it and it has given you some inspiration on how to use these large images like that. If you're not comfortable with coloring or it's a little intimidating just yet, I hope you'll give this a try. I will have all of my supplies listed down below in the video description and over on my blog. Also, down below, I'm going to include a link to a new platform that I just joined, which is called Buy Me a Coffee. I consider it kind of a little tip jar. I truly appreciate all the support I receive from all of my viewers and commenters. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon.